Hi, my name's Alvy, and this happened about 4 years ago. Back in 2021. I was 14 at the time. It was an early winter morning, cold, rainy, and unusually foggy for where I live in Australia. From the moment I stepped outside, I felt something was off. I couldn't explain it, but I just didn't feel safe walking down that familiar road. When I reached the bus stop, it was empty. That was strange. There were usually a few people waiting there, too. Even weirder, it was a busy main road, but barely any cars were driving by. The silence made me uneasy. My bus was late, and I was standing there in the freezing rain when I noticed something. About 10 meters away, a beat-up white minibus pulled over. All the windows were covered with curtains. Inside was an old man, maybe in his 50s or 60s, scruffy gray beard, wrinkled face, wearing old torn clothes. He just sat there, staring at me. At first I thought he might be lost. But then a faint smile spread across his face before disappearing back into that cold, empty stare. My stomach dropped. I looked down at my phone, pretending to check when the bus was coming, but my hands were shaking. My bus was already 5 minutes late. When I looked up again, he was still staring, completely still. No one else inside the van, just him. And something told me he wasn't a driver. Minutes felt like hours. I wanted to cry. Then the van slowly rolled closer to me. I heard a click, the sound of his door unlocking. My heart was pounding so loud I could barely hear anything else. I was ready to run. And that's when I saw it, my school bus coming down the road. I bolted forward, waving frantically. The moment I stepped inside, I looked back. The man had closed his door and drove off in the opposite direction. That was the last time I ever went to that bus stop. Even now, whenever I pass it, I still look around for that same white minibus. But I've never seen it again. And sometimes I wonder what would have happened if my bus hadn't arrived that morning.
It was a hot summer day in northern Philippines. Because of the pandemic, our parents didn't let us see each other much, but after a lot of begging, they finally gave in. We met in Michelle's backyard. Me, Michelle, and our friend Marga. We each brought our favorite stuffed animals and spent the afternoon pretending to feed and care for them like they were real. After an hour, we decided our baby was hungry again. So we started looking for plants and berries to feed it. That's when Mona said, "Hey guys, let's go near my house. There are more berries there." So we ran down the street, laughing. We started plucking berries near her house when Mona suddenly froze. She was staring past us at a man standing near Michelle's backyard. We ignored it at first, but soon he began walking toward us. At first, we thought he might be someone working for a neighbor, but then he started asking strange questions, like whether our parents were home. Something about his voice made my skin crawl. We began backing away, but he kept coming closer. When we finally turned and ran, Michelle looked back. He was following us, faster now. He called out, saying he had something for us, something we needed to take to our parents. We didn't believe him. We just kept running. But Marga, the youngest, fell behind. The man reached out and almost grabbed her arm until Mona and Michelle pulled her away just in time. We raced into Mona's house, slammed the door, and locked it. When we looked out the window, he was gone. We didn't tell anyone. We didn't want to get in trouble. But about a half hour later, when we went back outside, Marga's dad came running out of the house, pale and panicking. He asked, "Did you girls see a man lurking around here?" He showed us a video on his phone. It was him, the same man. A neighbor's security camera had caught him trying to lure children with candy. When confronted, he pretended not to speak English and claimed he was collecting trash. We never saw him again after that day. But sometimes I wonder what would have happened if we hadn't run fast enough.
I'm a 17-year-old girl from West Australia. My cousin Camille, the same age as me, was always the pretty one. Everyone adored her. But behind that perfect image was something darker. Camille was spoiled beyond belief. If she didn't get what she wanted, she'd throw fits, scream, even threaten people with a knife, sometimes her own parents. The worst part, she told me everything. Every horrible thing she'd done. One summer evening, I was visiting her house. It was calm, peaceful, until Camille looked up from her iPhone and said, "Mom, can I get the new iPhone next month?" Her mother looked exhausted. "No, sweetheart, you already have one. Your father can't afford another." The argument that followed was bad, really bad. Her grandma had to pull me away from the room. After that, Camille went silent. She didn't eat. She didn't talk. A week later, I went home. Then the news came. Camille had collapsed at school. She had poisoned herself using potassium cyanide she'd stolen from the chemistry lab. Before she fainted, she told the police her mother had been starving and poisoning her. Her mother was arrested and sent to prison for a month before being released for lack of evidence. Later, Camille told me the truth herself, with a smile on her face. She had done it all deliberately, just to punish her mother. I couldn't believe it, but things got worse. 2 weeks after her mother came home, there was a car crash. Her parents' car had been sabotaged, tires cut, petrol leaking. It hit a tree and burst into flames. Both of them died instantly. Camille later confessed to me, proudly, she had tampered with the car. She killed her parents because they wouldn't buy her a new iPhone. The police ruled it an accident. Now she lives in South Korea with distant relatives. I've cut all contact with her. I used to love her like a sister, but after what she did, all I can hope is that she gets the help she desperately needs.